Hello and welcome back to the most exciting video series ever attempted. We're still building undercarriage on the front bits. I don't know what you call these. They're structured. There's no innards to them. And I think I've got to build something involving this and this. Okay, we're on the ball. There we go. Now, I've only just, how should I put this? I'm recording this on an unusual time. I normally do this on a Saturday or sometimes a Friday. It's currently Tuesday, which leaves very little room since the last episode. And as the format of these is generally things that have very roughly occurred in my life, and little has occurred since then, it does leave it a little bit light, not gonna lie. Tell no word of a lie. Swear to God, I could be in a cave on Jupiter, 1 billion miles away from any human, and the minute I consider recording one of these videos, the whole world lines up outside my door and demands light conversation. Right. So this bit I built here in the cut, there's a lot of large pieces that are held on by very little. So I'm presuming I'm about to add stability. Not only that, every piece that was added in the diagram, they'd always show it being added from below with like an odd perspective, making it very hard to follow. Very hard is an exaggeration, slightly tricky to follow. Let's get it that way. On a U first, lines up with that corner. That's good. Where was I? Yeah, I'm recording this on a Tuesday, so haven't really done anything since the last one. Just been enjoying the ridiculous weather. Had one patch of exciting news. The release date for Monster Hunter World got, well, first Capcom put out a tweet saying we're gonna tell you the PC, the game's been out for ages, it's the PC release date I'm on about here. Oh yeah, is that right? Yep. Yeah, they said they were gonna release, it was the PC release date, and they used an odd term for it. It was essentially the platform it was coming out on, but they said it as like as well as the host or whatever. And there was brief speculation of like, oh, maybe Capcom are going to come up with their own online store, which, yeah, that wouldn't be too weird. EA has Origin. Yeah, that's on. Ubisoft have Uplay, and so on. Maybe Capcom are doing their own. That wouldn't be that unusual. They're Japanese. Maybe it could be a new dawn for PC Japanese gaming. If there's a distributor coming directly from there to online, that could be a good thing. And then I promptly forgot about when they were even going to do any of that stuff, and then it just came out, and it's on Steam. It's just Steam. There wasn't really much to read into that. I feel like had they not said, yeah, it'll be on Steam, everyone assumed Steam. Yeah, the PC place to release, really, isn't it? August 9th as well. I was thinking September, and because they hadn't said anything, late September, maybe even October, but August 9th as well. That's no time at all. That's just right in time for my birthday. Now, I don't actually know anything about Monster Hunter World, really. Even though it's been out for ages, when it came out, I just ignored all information about it, because I thought, well, it's coming to PC eventually, so I want to play it. I don't really want to know anything. I'll just use this impressive ability to ignore things that I have to entirely ignore it. In the same way that when Star Wars Episode 7, Force Awakens was coming out, I just ignored everything about it. Have I missed a bit? Like, I didn't see any trailers. I didn't really see any images of any kind. I heard things. The name Phasma came up a lot, I think. And Kylo Ren, maybe. I think going in, that was all I really knew about it. Just those two names. And then after the film, I was like, yeah, it's quite good. And a lot of people were pissed off because it's like, oh, Phasma, she was nothing. She was barely in it. And they hyped her up all this time. I was like, no, you think they hyped her up, but you were paying too close attention to what happened there. Right, so I've made this little kind of pivot thing. Now to add some wondrous orange to the mix. I've watched a hell of a lot more Food Wars since that. Well, not a hell of a lot more. I suppose maybe 10 episodes more, which in the scheme of things, when it's only like, I don't know, 60 episodes long at the minute or whatever it is, it's quite a bit more. Where does this go? Am I getting that right? Somewhere here. There. Goes there, I'm guessing. And my earlier hypothesis that the way the main character wins all this conflict is by actually understanding the question being asked is panning out. It's quite correct. I think as I record this, England is still in the World Cup. As it's released, the World Cup will be over. So either it came home, it was never gonna come home, or I don't know. I suppose those are the only two options really. We either win or we don't. Doesn't really bother me too much. Where does this go? Down the bottom, off centre, there. And now, place that entirely to the side and ignore it. Take 4 of these yellow bits and put them on the main body somewhere around here. Oh, no, I tell a lie. Set them aside. I need to have built 2 of these for a start, but I'm supposed to be putting them here. And then here and here. I can't really describe it further than that. Does it fit like that? Is that right? Well, that can't be right. That can't be right. So maybe I built the one for this side. This better be the right angle now. Yeah, that looks sort of correct. I'm noticing an issue, and it needs sorting out immediately. In fact, I'm not going to sort it out immediately. I'm just going to build another one of these while I contemplate the issue. The issue being that there's an odd blue peg over here and not over here, and I need to discern if that's supposed to be the case, and indeed why there isn't one on the other side, if it should attach to something. There's a lot of issues have appeared. I don't think it'll be too bad though. The funny thing is about that Capcom announcement was that I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I've been yearning for a new game, particularly a Switch game, and I was sort of looking towards Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And then I suddenly realised that Monster Hunter Generations Double Cross, I want to say is what it's called. It's the ultimate version of that, which is like the same game plus another half normally. A lot more content, but like the same overall kind of structure, if you will. Do I need to mirror this? Well, there's no mirrored instructions, but when I was trying to fit this one, it felt like it could only really go in one place. That's not good. I don't know. I'll follow the instructions as I build it and hope something comes up to give me some actual confidence. So wait, does this go? That goes like that and that there. Yeah, so I suddenly realised Monster Hunter was coming out on Switch. I was like, great, I'll get that. Though I wasn't too enthused because I'd already played it before, and generally speaking, we don't get like that ultimate version. Japanese, like in Japan, they'll get Monster Hunter 4. We won't get 4. Then Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate will come out, and we'll get that. So we get like the best version of the game first, so we're not tainted on it. Generally, is what happens. I think this is one of the first times we're actually getting the non-superior version, except maybe Monster Hunter 3. We got Monster Hunter Tri on Wii, and then 3 Ultimate came out, but that came out on Wii U and 3DS, so it was like a whole new console, and it was a tremendously different game. So I don't know where we're at with that. I'd also like to point out that Monster Hunter is one of the games that I'm good at. It's often seen as a hard game. I'm good at it, like genuinely as well. Not like not me being like, you know, I can complete it. Anyone can complete it. I can actually. I'll do well. I won't die against monsters. You know, I can do a decent build. I can hitbox dodge things. I've made that up. That's not really a thing, is it? How have I got so few pieces yet? I still can't find what I need. And I've already built this once and I still don't know what I'm doing. It's the idiot's paradox. It's the me recording after work paradox as well. Alright, let's get that on there. There we go. Oh, no. It's coming together a bit now. I'm remembering it. This bit was just annoying to put together because nothing really holds at this point. It's not until now you start adding the toughening bits. Is there a franchise better than Star Wars for Lego stuff? Because in my opinion, Lego really shines in the following places. 1, vehicles. 2, minifigs. And 3, buildings. Hands down, I'd say this has the best vehicles. You could argue something like Batman. The Batmobile's cool, yeah, but there's not a lot of them. And things like Iron Man, they're not really vehicles. Same with Transformers. There's a lot of kind of vehicle stuff in there, but not really. Mad Max, kind of cool, but no. Lego Star Wars has got the best, hasn't it? If you go for another space franchise, what have you really got? What are the big sci-fi things? Star Trek. What you're going to make the Enterprise? Because it's realistic. The outsides of the ship don't look that good. Trying to think what else there is really. There's nothing coming to mind for, you know, really cool, different ship design. You know, properly iconic. No, there is nothing. So straight away they've got that one. That certainly, like, you know, you're not going to put Millennium Falcon as the coolest vehicle of all time. That's going to go to something far cooler. Heck, the Shield Helicarrier is cooler, but there's only one of them. You can't really make. You know, where's the X-wing in this situation? Where's the little starfighter? There is none. So if I get that, put that on top of that, like that, and then shove that in that space. I think I built this wrong. No, I built this bit wrong here. There we go. The minifigs design, that could be won by anything. I would say honestly, like, the Marvel canon has pretty cool minifigs. Simpsons does. Harry Potter, not really, because a lot of it's just people in robes. There's different sizes. Most stuff in Star Wars is pretty well the same size, isn't it? character-wise. So I'd say in terms of minifigs, probably Marvel's got it beat. Thinking you got your giant man there, Rocket Raccoon, that sort of thing. There's sort of more going on. But lightsabers are cool. I'd call it a wash. Minifigs kind of work anyway, don't they? Right, is this done? I think this is done. Now I've got to build this very complicated assembly. Buildings would be the next thing, wouldn't it? What has the best buildings to it? Straight away, most things set on Earth are both good and bad because the buildings are essentially Earth-based, and if it's contemporary, there won't often be a lot of them. Harry Potter, that's a good one. You got the school, although Hogwarts to me, I mean, you can't really build the whole castle, can you? That's just a castle in Edinburgh. Then maybe the Great Hall is kind of memorable. I don't know if iconic's the word I'd use because it does very. If you're English, the Great Hall at Hogwarts looks very much like a dining hall in any older school. My university, the dining halls there basically looked like that. Granted, there weren't floating candles around the place, but it was similar. One of these long black ones. Little red bad boy. Couple greys, good. Jurassic Park. See, Jurassic Park has actually got some great vehicles in there. Have you got some great vehicles actually? Basically, you got the Ford Explorer and the Jeep. And then Lost World's actually got some really cool ones. The RV's most of the ones in the Lost World. So that the first two have really cool vehicles. And what are you getting after that? The boat and the plane from the third one? No, that's not happening. The gyrosphere. I didn't like the gyrosphere that much. I like the idea of it, certainly, but I wouldn't want it as a thing. What else? There were some other cool vehicles in the fourth one. They weren't like, they were just kind of showing about a bit. Fifth one didn't really have anything, did it? Anything new anyway in that sort of sphere? A big shipping container? No. So vehicles it's got a couple, but they are essentially just standard vehicles with a different look to them, aren't they? I was just looking around to see if I had a Lego car next to me, but I don't. I've moved it somewhere. Minifigs for Jurassic Park. Well, there's not many of them, but I'd say the ones you have got are pretty good. If only because a lot of their outfits, I would say, have a certain iconicness to them. And if you count dinosaurs in the minifigs, which I suppose you can, let's say character figures, then you're getting pretty good in there. I don't know if there are actually many Jurassic Park sets. I feel like you could have some good ones, but the trouble is, well, let's think about it. The best scenes are in Jurassic Park. In the first one, it's the T-Rex scene at night. That doesn't make for a great scene Lego set because what do you have? The Ford Explorer, a collapsible toilet, and the fence. Now that I've said it, it's quite good, but it's not really anything, is it? That'd be the sort of scene where most of it would be made up by just having a painted bit of card. Right, so now I've made 2 of these. I'll set that aside. Okay, that blue peg I've said about is here. It is on this drawing. And on the other side, there isn't one. So that's good, I suppose. Right, I'm going to attempt to attach this now in the position shown. That was incredibly easy. I thought that was going to be quite difficult. Clearly they've put some thought into putting that bit in. Now the other side. It goes in a different location on the other side. That explains why they're not mirrored. I'm going to make the mirrored bits next. Yes. Goes like that, with the orange bits facing inwards. with 2 of these facing that way, and it goes in here. Good, that fell away nicely. See, these can move a bit. I'm sure that's important. That one can move a bit, this one can't. And yep, so I've now got to make 2 of the other bit, which are very similar, but not entirely the same. Still starts with one of these though. I guess I'm on week 2.5 of intermittent fasting. I've become streamlined. I can see in the dark. Owls understand what I want. I've gained certain other powers as well that I can't really go into. I can smell on the infrared spectrum, so there's that. It's just made me a more evolved being overall. Haven't urinated for 2 weeks, so got that going for me. I drink almost constantly. What you can't see is several IVs just being forced into my ankles. You know when sometimes you have a drink of water and it's that exact temperature where it doesn't quench your thirst at all and somehow leaves your mouth drier than when you began? Amazing, amazing stuff. Right. It's very similar to what I made before, but there are subtle differences. Mainly it would appear everything I'm doing is mirrored. Okay, yep, that was clearly wrong. Also, none of this is attached properly. I've got to flatten it all out. God damn it. So, I'm not sure if this is related to the weather, exercise, or me being older. My feet have started to bruise. I'm hoping it's not a sign of diabetes, or diabetes, as I should have said. But I don't know. My feet hurt, like as though they've been bruised. There's a hollow on the back of this. I think it's supposed to be there. It's not entirely clear though. Well, everything lines up the way it should, so I guess it should be there. There's no reason to worry about that hollow, but it seems out of character, you know? Like it just twigs me. On a Jurassic World related note as well, I ran out of audiobooks to listen to recently. I just re-listened to all of The Hitchhiker's Guide. That's not true. I listened to the first 5 books in the trilogy. I didn't re-listen to the newer one by Eowyn Colfer. I've read the book. I thought it was fine. I kind of forgot it existed when I got all of the current ones. I don't think it's read by. I was going to call him Martin Fly, but that's not his name. Martin Freeman, who read the other ones. So I stopped at that. And I didn't remember quite how miserable a book the 5th book in that series is, because I've only really got strong memories of the radio series of it, which is much less miserable. I.e., you know, all the characters aren't killed at the end. I do like the story though that the author Douglas Adams, R.I.P., when he was writing the 5th book, Mostly Harmless, he'd had a really miserable year of his life, so the 5th book was really miserable. And he makes no apologies for it. He's like, yeah, I had a bad year. Thought you should too. So I finished that and I was thinking, what do I want next? And it's hard knowing sort of what tone you want to go in for. Do you want something light, something heavy, a one-off book, or do you want to start a new series of audiobooks? And I suddenly remembered, this is where it comes back around, that I'd listened to the Jurassic Park audiobook I thought it was great. I loved it. Fully furthered my enjoyment. I then listened to, I think, like a few more Michael Crichton's, the Andromeda Strain, I specifically remember. And I feel like there was one more, but I'm not sure now. And I thought, I quite like him as an author. And I did say to myself one day, I'll probably listen to The Lost World. And then I entirely forgot about that notion until last night when I was like, oh yeah, I'll do Lost World. So I downloaded it, plugged my phone into iTunes to sync, which I do very, very infrequently. And, away I go. Went to bed, left it plugged into my computer overnight to both sync and just to charge up because it's easier. Wake up in the morning, pick my phone up and go. Got in the car to drive, well, just to start driving for the day. Odds are I weren't going to be stopping for a few hours after that. And about 20 minutes into listening, it just goes, end of disc 1, disc 2, and keeps playing. And I was like, that's strange. That was a very short disc, 20 minutes for a disc. A disc CD used to typically hold about an hour or so of audio. A dependable bit rate. That'd be normal. I thought that's strange, a bit strange. And then suddenly the story became somewhat incoherent. And then a few minutes later it said, end of disc 3, disc 4. And I discovered that for whatever reason, my phone said that it was fine. It said like each part was the correct length. And the whole thing was like 12 hours long or whatever it is, and that it was fine. But every part it would like play 10 minutes and then just skip to the next one. And so clearly it's some sort of issue. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I didn't have that. And when that was my plan for my working day, was to listen to that, and it was just ruined. It was most annoying. So I'm going to try that again tomorrow. I look forward to that. I did think about like listening to something I'd done before again, like is that right? Like that? Yep. Like Dark Tower, the Dark Tower series. I thought maybe I might have a re-go of that because I did it all before ages ago. Really enjoyed it. Just come at it from a fresh attitude, but then at the same time I thought, nah, that's a lot to do. Same thing with what's it called? Game of Thrones, Song of Fire and Ice. I thought, I could do that again. Might be fun revisiting it. But I was like, no, I better not do that because the new series, I don't know when it's out, but I don't want to mistime things with that. You know, it's got to play it all up. I can't be over Thrones getting to that point, but at the same time, there's a whole order to these things. You got to plan it carefully. You can't, you can't be midway for a rewatch when you're jumping on a new thing. It's a whole. There's methods to maximise enjoyment. I'm a master of those methods. Ah, there we go. Yeah, just built that. Then just right at the bottom of the instructions it said, yeah, 2 of them. So got to make another one of them. There's clearly more to this bag than these current things I'm building. No idea what though. There we are. I don't know if this is obvious, but I'm running down the clock on today's non-fasting period. By the time this video finishes, I think I'll have an hour or so, which, if I'm going to cook a decent meal, means I've got to get a bit of a move on, you know, because you don't want to mess that timing up. Particularly, I'm going out playing sport tonight, which is inadvisable in this weather. I've gone wrong. How have I gone wrong? I've gone wrong back here somewhere, haven't I? It's this bit. It's the wrong way. Yeah, now it's... That's right. Okay. Christ, that was nearly a huge error that I somehow missed. Little tiny triangle bit. Lovely. Still waiting on Ant-Man and the Wasp to come out. It's I think it's not out till bloody August here. It's been out for a fair while elsewhere, and it annoys me to be back behind the curve. It's not been the case in England for a while. We've been ahead of these things, inexplicably. I want to believe it's because so much stuff is shot at Pinewood Studios. Actually, I was very near Pinewood Studios yesterday at work. It's an odd place, right next to Slough, a total shithole. Okay. The temperature since I've started recording this has gone up remarkably. I will say as well, before I started recording this, I was topless, and I've added a top, as I feel I'm not quite at the stage of topless YouTubing. I'm not sure if that's even allowed, to be honest. Especially with these studio lights, I'll be like a beacon of Gondor. I'm very pale, you see. So I just stuck a shirt on, and it's made me really appreciate that it's actually quite warm indeed. Only getting warmer. Being hungry and hot is not a good state to be in. Hungry and cold is worse. Hungry and the brain fog is setting in. Is this what I want? Is this... No, these aren't even the same. Did I throw away the one I wanted? The reason I'm recording this at a schedule, I'm going to a wedding at the weekend, on a Saturday. Christ, I've now realised they planned that wedding and they got it 1 day away from the World Cup final. That could have been disastrous, couldn't it? They're not football fans, but when you have a wedding, there's a good chance that the people you invite will be. If England were in that could genuinely, that could almost ruin your wedding. Or make it better, I don't know. I would say it's my first, I don't want to say adult wedding, because that implies that I've been to a lot of children's weddings, which is a very odd thing to imply. I haven't. That's weird. Shouldn't really happen in the modern world. It's the first wedding I've been invited to that's like the wedding of friends of mine. Like, that's a step to I was gonna say growing up, but really it's a step towards death, isn't it? First you go to all the weddings, then it's the christenings, then you start losing touch with those friends because they get new friends who are more in the family way. I can't find the bit I need. There it is. It's the subtitle for this entire series. I can't find the bit. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and then inevitably it's funerals, isn't it? That's the final stage. It was weird because I had noticed. I don't use Facebook particularly, but every now and again I go on there just to not check in, because that's an actual thing, but just make sure Russian hackers haven't taken over my account, that sort of thing. Just keep an eye out. And I realised quite how many of my Facebook friends, I was going to say friends, but I feel that's not the right term. How many of the people I know on Facebook, it's pictures of newborns, and I'm like, Christ, when did I get to this bit? It used to be like messy nights out, and then it's like the slow changeover, isn't it? Suddenly it's meals that people are cooking for themselves. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm an adult, I've cooked a meal, or so and so's done me this, and then it's like, oh, it's our new place. Oh, then shit, kids, and you're like, wow, I need to associate with a different class of people suddenly. Right, so now I just have to put these on in much the same way as I just did. In much the same positions, actually. I'm glad these are so easy to put on. Could have easily been a right ball ache. Not even going to stop to smell the roses. I'm just going to go straight in. Oh shit. Nice. I don't know why it takes 2 of those yellow things. Why not one big one? Probably a good reason. Probably a reason involving torque, isn't it? Right. Build something new. Oh, it's a purely decorative piece. Intriguing. Those are good. I always like those. That's not what I need. Get what you want, but not what you need. Is that Coldplay or Snow Patrol? Are they the same? Pretty much, aren't they? Scrubs. I associate that song with Scrubs a lot. Tried rewatching Scrubs recently. I was a big fan when it was first on. Actually, I don't know if big fan's the right word. I watched it when it was on. And I liked it, yeah. But rewatching it, I realised a couple things. A chief of which, this is the wrong bit. Chief of which is sort of how serious it is. It's very silly as a show, but also it really throws the drama in there. Like watching more modern sitcoms and stuff, they, like the good ones, they're much less often about doing that. Like Scrubs would often end heavy, like Fresh Prince. You wouldn't get in that in a Parks and Rec. You've got to end it on a light note, haven't you? Alright, that's good. Then one of these flats, and then another one. Consonant, vowel. Yes, I was into the rewatch. I remembered how much of a heinous, total bitch Carla is. I think she lightens up, but not particularly. She's just a deeply unpleasant character, and I get it. I get it from an everything standpoint, but at the same time, watching it, it's like, Christ, she's harsh to Turk. Why is it? He could do better. He could be with someone who seems to like him for a start. Okay, that's good. Jesus, this is getting complicated. I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. I'm looking underneath the damn thing to see the image. Right, one of these. You need a light grey and a dark grey, just so. And it's off-centered that way. There's so many little bits here. Why did I not consider all these bits when I was wondering where this stage was going? It was clear it was going in a bastard stage. You also realise in Scrubs, Turk's a really good guy. None of the other, of the 4 sort of main cast are. Carla's a real bitch. Elliot is just heinous. And JD is like the classic example of someone who's really nice to strangers, but terrible to his own friends. Right, I've missed a bit out. Wow, that is really on there. Took a fair amount of skin to get that off. I can feel the calluses on my thumbs forming from this. Is that the right way? No. Damn it. sorted that now. Funnily enough, the reason I was rewatching Scrubs was because I happened upon an Amazon Prime trial for like a month or so, and I thought, oh, that gets you Amazon Prime Video. Oh, what's on there? Oh, Scrubs. I could watch a bit of Scrubs happily. That's in the wrong place. That needs to go down one. Brilliant. That took everything off with it. That's great. Fucking great. Now I can't see where those came off of. I think they came off about here. Good. I've applied those with no prior knowledge of if they're in the right place. Okay, I think that's all right. Oh, so this is like the visual bit you can see when you look through the holes, or that hole in particular. Nope, holes plural because I am about to make more of these. Yeah, I got an Amazon trial. Thought, fuck yeah, I'll watch Scrubs. Scrubs is good, isn't it? Add it into my rotation of tremendously rewatched shows, which are currently The Office, Parks and Rec, Community, throw that in there, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Thick of It, Peep Show, 2 English ones at the end there, just to Brit it up a bit. They're sort of in the comedy bracket. There are other shows that aren't comedies that I'll rewatch a lot. Game of Thrones is a good one. Cartoons like Justice League, the Avatar. Watch that over and over. I brought the DVDs of Avatar, and then the Blu-rays came out, so I brought that. I've never opened either. I got like the Korra Blu-rays as well. So it's all just building up. I've never opened them. Just never got round to it. That's a cheeky bastard thing as well. When Amazon said, "Oh, you got Avatar and Blu-ray coming out. Do you want to pre-order it? 60 quid." I was like, "That's a lot for a Blu-ray. I will probably buy it though." I noticed they'd raised the price of Korra to 60 quid as well. And then a couple of days later, both came down to 30, which is far more manageable. It's the sort of price I expect. Another one of these? I've done something wrong here, I'm sure. Said the man who wasn't sure what he'd done wrong. No. Little flat bit. There we are. So I'm still playing Fallout 4 currently, and I realised that I never really played through a lot of the DLC for it. In particular, the Mechanist and Far Harbour DLCs, which I brought, and it was at the time I was doing the D20 challenge. And I played them on the channel, and I just thought that I must have played them off the channel at some point on a different save. And it turns out I hadn't, because I was playing them and I was like, I don't recognise any of this. Which is very exciting, because it's like there's more content. I haven't bothered with Nuka World, because apparently, looking it up, it's like the whole DLC is Raider based, which is fine. Apparently the whole DLC is Raider based. Like you almost have to join a Raider faction or something. You have to essentially shaft the Minutemen. Preston Garvey will never talk to you again. And I think you even have to permanently destroy some of your settlements. And I read all that, I was like, I don't want to do any of that. And apparently you don't have to do it, but if you say no, it's like you don't do any of the quests in the areas. You can presumably still go to the areas and like kill the people there, but the actual quests associated with them aren't on. I would assume turns it into a fairly hollow experience. So I just kind of had to say no thanks to that, which is annoying. It's very annoying. I'm glad I read the reviews though. Is this right? What now? Put that on here, again off-centered, and then grab this, put a little vent on it, and there we are. Is this right? Is this good? Oh, another little thing in there. Wow. I'm not saying my vision has gone blurred, but I'm both hot and cold right now. It's the hunger, it gets to you. Where does this go? It goes on the same side as I just put the thing on. That's correct. And it's... Okay, this is very confusing because I've just... it was upside down. Christ, I was doing my head in. I was looking at this, and I was like, it's showing me built this, and then it's showing me to put the thing I built here, but the thing it's showing me I built is different, and it was upside down. That mind fog, eh? You think you haven't got it, and then you try and throw in just a semblance of coherence, and you realise, wow, it is real. It has afflicted me. I believe I'm now making another 2 of these little structures to do on the rest of this. I tell you, in World Cup related news, the amount of people that I've said to, they'll ask, "Oh, do you follow the football, Ben?" I say, "Oh, no, I don't follow it. So I don't watch it. I haven't kept up with it at all." That's what I'll say, and then like without missing a beat, they all go. They all like, a lot of them will say, "Ah, me neither," and then proceed to entirely discuss it. And I'm like, I haven't missed it because I've been on fucking Mars. I've missed it because I don't give a shit. Only I'm too polite in pleasant company, so I don't say that, but I'm thinking it the whole time. Like, what are you bringing this up about? I don't care. And every now and again, you'll meet the people who also don't care, but are true, like, you know, they're not liars. And it's wonderful. You proceed to talk about literally anything else. Oh God, just realised I'm a part of that first group because I don't care, and I'm still going on about it. So I've got a dash cam in my car, which leads you to being not a vigilante, but a tattletale. I don't know what the right term is. Basically, anytime you ever see anyone do anything wrong, you think, who could I send that footage to? You want to believe that you could send it to police and they'd be like, yep, we're gonna go and prosecute them for this. But in reality, you know, it's like, nah, it's not. That won't happen ever. Maybe you should just post it on like Twitter and just publicly shame the person. But again, that won't happen. You have got the option if it's someone like in a clearly company car, like if they're driving a FedEx lorry, then it's like, okay, well that will get back to them. You can email that to FedEx and they will take note. The bit I need, I can't seem to see it. I'm wondering why that is, and it's very alarming. I'm trying to sort these out, but I seem to keep giving up as soon as I start. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. What bit am I on? Chuck one of these on. And one of them. These very pleasing shaped bits. Yeah, I definitely need one more. I'm convinced it's this, but it's definitely not. Maybe it's underneath. A few bits did get down there. Maybe I used too many earlier on. It's possible. Certainly possible. Is this the end of this? No. Okay, so this bit I think it is used later, so it must just be here and I'm not seeing it. Time to properly separate everything out, put it where it should be. Everything in its place, perfectly balanced, as everything should be. Okay, it's not becoming obvious. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking I might have accidentally put two of a bit on the first side. No. The fact that came off so easily makes me think it's not gonna. No, went on easily. No, they all seem to be right where they should be. That all went down really easy. Did I? No, haven't put anything else. Keep searching, maybe it will turn up. It definitely won't though, because there's really no bits left. It could be. It's not you. Not you either. Yep, that's all the bits. So it's not here. Did I drop it? I don't remember dropping any bits. Have I got a spare over here? Oh, magic cup of spare bits. Lend me what I need. It won't be one in here though, because it's too big to be a spare. So the odds of me actually like having it just through chance, next to impossible. No. Okay. 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 Now it's the sort of bit that I wouldn't have put on any of the earlier sections because it wouldn't have made any sense. Right, so that can't. It's not there. And that's two. Yeah. Okay. So what? It was under the book. Found it. That was a close one. That could have been an issue. Well, I mean, it very much was an issue. It slowed me right down. Nearly killed the momentum. I'm now trying to. I'm going back to my earlier question of Lego shit I'd like to see. A Lego Millennium Eye. That thing that Doc Ock builds in Spider-Man 2, just a Lego version of that. That'd actually be quite cool. Just a whole thing of that. You'd Lego arms for Doc Ock, and then the bits that go around, and then spend like ages just making a very thick Lego sun. That could work. I mean that'd look quite cool. Lego Sandman is just hundreds of beige bits of Lego that you just pile on and then stick two eyes together in there somewhere, and it's done. I don't know what I'm doing. I skipped ahead a bit and I kind of lost track. It's very hard to look at this page due to the mind fog. Also, I think I've made an error. There we go. Wait, no. Nope, I hadn't made an error. I was about to make an error, and in being worried about said error, I made an additional error. As is the tradition. Last time. I'll just finish off this little bit I'm on. But oh, you know, last time, alright, you probably don't know this, that I got like assaulted by a moth part of the video. That moth, since then, in that video, it flew into a corner. I think it hit a spider web and just stuck there. It's still there. I think it genuinely flew in the corner and died. What a life that is. How can I not find the bits I need now? It's just some flat vents. Should be loads of the bastards. I've already put them on, that's why. Fucking idiot. I skipped a step by accident. That could have been disastrous. Just got to finish this and I can have a bit of food, clear away the mind fog. I shouldn't have the fog now, I should have eaten. I'm hungry. Damn wedding, throwing all my plans off. Happened to fall on a disastrous date where I record videos in threes normally, so like 3 episodes of Zelda, 3 episodes of Smash Brothers, and they should be off center so that I'm never doing 3 in 1 week. So it's like 1 week I'll look ahead and I've got 2 episodes in the bag or something, or I'll need to record them. Somehow it's like the stars have aligned so that this week I had nothing in the bag when I needed it most. Now I could have seen it from a distance quite easily, could have planned, but I didn't, and it's my issue. Put that there, another phone. There's the phone. God, I think I need to rewatch Star Wars just to have a good solid look at the Falcon to see if there is like all this nonsense on it. I mean, there probably will be. I'll assume they built this to a certain standard, but at the same time, is there like this level of obscure detail? I mean, look at that. Look at all of that on there. Right, I'll attach it, and that'll be good. Perfect. I love that they attach so easily. Right, well, that was it. We're now on that was number 636, which is the area code. It's the dialing phone code of Old Springfield. And then they have auto dial. If I was less foggy in the brain, I could easily finish this off. But I'm not, and I won't. Thanks for watching. See you next time.